please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, General and Admiral, for your decades of service, and congratulations on another good, solid year ahead. Mr. Secretary, I'm going to get right to the point with you. I worked with the Navy for a little better than a year and a half to this point on behalf of a Navy SEAL and an officer who wanted to get out of his service a few months early so that he could pursue his next level of service, his next area of service in political office. It's pretty much over, the case, but I wanted to highlight it in this forum because it's really a horrible vignette of how the Navy, I think, far too often treats its people. I brought it up with you once quite a while back with Admiral Gilday as well, and I'll make it as brief as I can. Lieutenant Adam Schwarzy asked in July of 2021 for permission to run for office while serving his final few months in the Navy. The paperwork got lost, and it took me getting involved for the paperwork to find its way back into the process. And then the CNO endorsed his request, and then it was denied by you. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Schwarzy also tried to get out using an old but still authorized early retirement authority. Again, process stopped unexplainably, but I weighed in, and the process then continued, with the Commander of Naval Personnel endorsing the package, only, again, to be denied at your level. Then, from my vantage point, Mr. Secretary, began what I think was a witch hunt. Was called back from his skill bridge assignment in Minnesota to his last assignment in Hawaii, where he could then be punished. The Naval Special Warfare Group lawyers proceeded to rip apart his history, his dedication, and question his integrity with statements that literally, quote, call into question his sincerity and trustworthiness. I'm happy to provide all of this for you in case your team has lost it. In fact, you went after this decorated hero with a veracity that made my staff, including a commander in the military, reach out to him to check his well-being, and reached out to the Navy to make sure that they were looking out for his well-being. You pulled his trident and then prevented him from retiring on time. You did an investigation that included false statements about me and my connection with Lieutenant Schwarzy, statements that seemed quite political for what's supposed to be an apolitical organization. The whole time that my office was trying to get information from the Navy, it faced roadblocks, barriers. It was like pulling teeth. Then, after all of that, a board of inquiry was held, and on all counts, the board voted 3-0 that the ponderance of the evidence did not support any basis of misconduct. 3-0, 7 times. In summary, you screwed the sailor's paperwork up constantly, repeatedly. You made a political decision on his future. You tarred and feathered him out of revenge. A board of inquiry unanimously absolved him of all charges. You held him past his retirement date until the law actually required you to let him out, and you left a patriot feeling like the Navy doesn't care about him, or worse, at the end of his service. And you kept his trident. I just, after hearing all of this stuff about how important the people are, Mr. Secretary, I'm perplexed. And I hope it's not too late for some corrective measure to replace this person's integrity and dignity. With that, I'll just let you respond.
Thank you, Senator. I'd be happy to continue to work with you on this situation. However, first I'd like to make a statement that I personally did not make any statements against you or Lieutenant Adam Schwarzy myself. But I will add that we have a responsibility in the Department of Defense that all service members actually act in accordance with the Hatch Act. And Lieutenant Adam Schwarzy knew exactly what the rules and requirements of the Hatch Act were. We cannot allow uniformed service personnel, even if they are 1 day from retirement, to participate in political activities, especially election-related activities. That is a standard that must be met. It has been adhered to since the beginning of the founding of our nation, and we have to actually meet that standard.
So is there a standard where Navy lawyers are allowed to just absolutely trash a guy's reputation, create misstatements, factually untrue statements about his career and his claims so that they can somehow prove their point? Is that Is that a standard?
Senator, I'd be happy to look into the case further to see if those statements are accurate. I don't know the details of
I do.
statements that were made
I
by
do.
lawyers. I'd be happy to work with you on that.
I know them, including the statements about me that are in your lawyers' records. So
Be happy to collaborate with you in your
I
office
look
on this,
forward to
Senator.
that. I'd rather not have to do it so publicly, but when, after a year and a half of being stonewalled, I'm glad you're here today. Thank you.